unfiltered conversations on the channel on the weekends. So y'all know how I do it. I do unfiltered videos on the weekends to help people for the next week. So I want to do this little short video talking to black women who somehow think they're protected outside of the black community. They think they're more protected among other race groups, and that is delusional. Okay? Now, before I get started on this video topic, I want to state, don't nobody come up in this video saying, I don't see race, it's not about race. Even Jane Elliott, a white woman, said, everybody see race. Okay? Everybody see race. So do not say, I'm a black person who don't see race. Yes, you do. You see skin color. Everybody do. Okay, we got that out the way. Second of all, I don't want to hear in this video, before I get started, that there's so much violence in the black community. There is violence in the white community, but it is covert violence. It is behind the scenes type of violence. It is, I'm calling the police on you for no reason type of violence. Framing your business and lying on your business because you have a black owned business, that type of violence. Okay? So don't come up in here saying that the black community is more violent. There's all different type of violence. There's physical violence, there's social violence, there's mental health violence, and there is spiritual violence. Okay? So I don't see one violence any worse than the other. There's people who have taken their own life and they never had a hand put on them. It's just that they suffered from mental health violence so long that they ended up physically hurting themselves. So let's not even go there and say the black community has more violence, and that's why black people, black women cling to white groups. Here's the thing. You can't say, a black woman can't say she's safer among other race groups when a lot of the other race groups have more power in society. So if you have more power, then you may be tempted to abuse your power. You may not feel like you'll be accountable for what you may do. So when black women sit around and say, oh, I prefer white girlfriends, they need to keep in mind that the law is more on their side, on the white person's side, than yours. So if you get in a little spat with them, if you momentarily fall out, who knows what they may do, knowing that they have more power in society. Knowing that if they went to do something to you as a black woman, there will be more people taking their side than yours. So it's never in your favor. The odds are never more in your favor, thinking that you're better off with friends who are not black. You may think that you're better off because y'all may be on the same financial level. They got a house, y'all both got the American dream. The black woman say, oh, me and a white woman both got the American dream, so we on the same level. No. Because people can have secret racism where they get nourished and fed by the fact that you are black, sniffing up under their butt. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, you think they just like you as a person. Well, really, you're validating whatever privilege and power they think they have over you, being white and you're black. Black women don't realize that when you prefer friendships outside of the black community, you're walking on eggshells. You're walking on eggshells. Because plenty of white people have friends who are racist, and they still hang out with those friends. So let's say you're a black woman and you have a friend who's white, and you say, well, they're not racist. But they have friends, they have family members that might be racist. So they might be sitting with those family members talking behind that black woman's back. But the black woman like, oh no, they don't treat me wrong, so they good. Plenty of white people keep their family members regardless of how racist they are. They will still go to their dinner parties. They will still do things with their racist family members and still hang out with black people. Now, I don't I don't want to have to worry that my white friend, my only white friend, because I'm not doing any black people. Let's give it an example. I don't want to have to worry that when they go home among their family members, that they're actually letting people hate on me, that they're not having my back. That's why we only friends when we go on hikes. We only friends when we go out to tea. We're not friends on the holidays. They don't invite me over for Christmas parties. They don't invite me over for their birthday. I don't understand why so many black women are not seeing that there's limitations put on them when they're in those friendships with some white people. That the friendship has a edge where it can only go but so far. And this is the real truth. I used to hang out with a lot of white people in business school. And guess what? They only had me as a friend for lunch at business school, for shopping. The friendship never went as far as me being invited to their baby showers or their weddings or their birthday parties. Never ever went that far. Even when I had friendship with white coworkers, they was inviting other white coworkers to go places with them outside of work, but they was never inviting me. See what I'm saying? But when you are a black woman and you choose a friend, and here's what gets me. I'm gonna get back to that, what I was about to say. Here's what gets me. When black women say, well, I don't want to be friends with other women because they toxic. Okay, so black people won't give toxic black people a pass, but they'll give their toxic white friends a pass. They will ignore any of the toxic traits of their white friends, all because they think they will climb faster and be accepted if they have a white friend. So basically, they're willing to sacrifice their inner peace just to be able to think that they're fitting in because they got a white friend. Now, I'm trying to say how that makes sense. Like, how does that make sense? That someone is like, oh, I'm not going to give my own race a pass, but I'll give every other race a pass when they overstep my emotional and mental boundaries. For example, there are black women in this neighborhood where I live at, and as soon as they see another black woman, they will look down to the ground and have an attitude on their face. But let a white woman walk up, or they're walking with a white woman and they're smiling from ear to ear. And I'm thinking in my head, don't they know that the white people in America know that they got the power? So in that relationship, the black woman is catering to their power. The black woman is going with their energy, following them. No one that has the power in society is going to be the most submissive or compromise more in the relationship. No one's going to do that. So I'm not going to compromise my power as a black woman just to have a white friend, just to have some delusion of more peace. Because what gets me is that when black women have a white friend and they find out that the white girlfriend was talking behind their back or sleeping with their man or snitching on them at the workplace, then they want to run back to the black crowd and be like, yeah, I was done wrong, and think that the black community is supposed to care. I worked in management, so I worked in management plenty of times, so I know how low-key toxic the workplace can be in the white circles, yet the black coworkers think that they are accepted when they're not. When I was the only black and white in the management, full of white people, they always treated me like I was beneath them. They would have private luncheons and didn't invite me. Yet I was in management too. Technically, I should have been invited, but I wasn't. But yet there was some black people who worked at the job who thought they was going to win over the white human resource department, and they never did. And then they wanted to start hanging with me. Oh yeah, come on, I'm gonna hang with you since you the only black in management. And I see the white people don't want to be with me. So, and I said, I'm good. I don't want to hang with you because you went there first before coming here. Y'all, this is the real talk. Y'all know I do unfiltered videos on the weekends. And then here's my thing. I don't know why black women think they can get the validation or love choosing to be outside their race in friendships. No white woman in this world is going to tell you your afro here is queen shit compared to her flowing hair. And yes, and she's in commercials on TV. And she is being chased after by every race out here. She's not going to compliment your locks. I never had a white person ever say, "Them are some nice locks you got. You got some beautiful 4C here." I've never heard that in my life. So why would I hang out? Why would I hang out? Why would I choose white friends over black friends when I know they're not going to recognize my uniqueness, my ebony beauty in the situation? I've had white friends. I never heard them say, "You got beautiful brown skin. Girl, your brown skin is glowing." I never heard that. But if some black women think just having the presence of a white person is enough to empower them, then wow, they're really putting white people on a pedestal. Because that's pretty much all they're getting. I'm not trying to be smart, but I got white relatives. They don't I could dress to kill, I could look gorgeous. They won't say a word. But they'll walk around me complimenting each other. Now if I'm seeing this with my own eyes, even within my family, why would I think that choosing to be friends outside of my own race is actually a glow up? It's not a glow up. I see black women walking down the street with white women, and the white women are nice and lean, and the black women are obese. You know why? Because their cortisol is being jacked up in the relationship. The black woman is being stressed out by that white woman's privileged behavior. I yet to see black women super fit walking down the street with a super fit white woman. Why is that? Why don't you see that? Because her cortisol is being jacked up by that relationship. If they're going on hikes and working out, how come the black woman aren't getting lean like the white woman? Because she's not getting the love she needs in that relationship in order for her to lose the weight. This is real talk, y'all. When I was constantly sitting in my boss's office, who was white, who always treated me, even though I was her assistant, who always treated me like I was nothing, I always put on weight. I put on weight. Soon as I resigned from her assistant, I lost all the weight. Now, this woman did not insult me to my face, but what she was doing was not giving me the credit that I deserved. What she was doing was supporting everybody around me, or every white person around me but me. What she was doing was not including me in management things that I was entitled to participate in. What she was doing was talking behind my back. Now, all that covert attacks was jacking up my cortisol, and I kept gaining weight. Soon as I got away from that covert narcissism, I lost the weight. Now, of course, she was denying everything. She was denying it all. But see, covert narcissism is easy to hide. It's covert. So what I'm saying is black women need to realize there are other types of attacks on you. Not just being told you're an angry, bitter black woman. There are attacks of love being withheld from you, lack of inclusion, of your energy being harvested, and you hardly getting any energy sent back. Those are still attacks. And frankly, if I'm friends with somebody for years and I see no growth in my personality, I see no growth in my body, then I don't care if they white and privileged. Obviously, they're a vampire. I should see growth. That's how you tell when you're dealing with vampires, whether they're black or white. You keep running in the same place. You keep getting setbacks. You keep having delays when you're hanging out with that person. They may be doing something behind your back. I see black women walking around here for years, still obese, and the white woman next to them is nice and skinny. Nice and skinny. But the black woman will look at me and mean mug me. And I'm like, what you need to be mean mugging is your white friend who's harvesting your energy. That's who you need to mean mug. Because she's getting thinner and thinner and you're getting fatter. You're staying fat and she's staying skinny. So your energy's being harvested in that situation. But I guess only thing that matters to some of the black women in the North is if they on the same money level as the white woman. Doesn't matter. We both got nice homes and we both got nice cars. Doesn't matter though if they're harvesting my self-care energy, my self-love energy. It don't matter. That don't matter. That I'm walking down the street with my hair with a trifling relaxer in my hair, my edges all burnt, broken out. My hair the same length it was 10 years ago, while the white woman's hair is long and flowing and golden, and my hair are still dead, and I'm balding. But it don't matter because me and a white woman, we still on the same money level. I mean, if I get in this situation as a black woman, I want to know how can a white woman help me out more than a black woman? If I'm like, I'm having problems with my 4C here. What am I do? Go run to my white friend about it? What? If I'm dealing with something racist in society, what am I going to do? Run to my white friend about it? If I feel insecure with my black genetics, what am I going to do? Run to my white friend about it? Like, this is real talk. No, I'm not going to do that. It's not even going to make no sense. The white woman's going to say, well, I don't know what to say. I can't really help you. I don't know what. For example, when I started speaking out against racism on this channel, I'm going to give y'all an example. What happened to me? When I started speaking out against racism on this channel, some white people who were emailing me, they stopped emailing me. I'm not going to say their names. They know who they are. They were emailing me. They were commenting in the live videos. They was chatting it up until I started speaking out against racism, until I started speaking on black people being more supportive to black people. Soon as I started doing that, these white folks that was talking to me through this channel are no longer talking to me. A couple of white women suddenly do not make an appearance in the live videos. And y'all don't see that that's still covert behavior? Like, for real, if you have some of you black women, if y'all have a white friend, spend a season talking about the stuff you went through as in society, how you've been discriminated against, how people hate your 4C here. Talk about that type of stuff. How much you want to bet that white person suddenly is busy. they're unreachable. Suddenly, they don't want to talk to you anymore. They walking by themselves. Because when you prefer friends who are white, you have to stick to the code that racism is a forbidden topic. You're not allowed to talk about that. You're not allowed to talk about how you don't fit in society as a black woman. You cannot talk about that stuff with your white friends. You can't. Okay, if you're willing to suffer with racism and discrimination and hate towards you, suffer in silence, oh, okay. What some black women do, they go home to their black sisters and their black family, and they dump all their trauma on them about racist society, and then they show up all fresh and clean to their white friend. So they trauma dump on their family, but they keep the peace with their white girlfriend. Tell me how that makes sense. That don't make no sense. It's disrespectful. I never hear black women walking down the street when they hang out around me and they with white women. I never hear them trauma dumping on the white woman. I never hear them saying, yeah, I'm tired of life. Life is hard. I'm being mistreated on the job. I'm going through a lot as a black person. They don't never trauma dump on the white people. They in this high spirited, high energy when they're hanging out with their white girlfriends. And the reason why I took my time doing this video, because whenever I do videos of this topic, people are quick to say, she don't like white people. The white people on this channel say, you don't like white people. Meanwhile, I have a white grandmother. The point that I'm making is that truth is truth. That don't make somebody racist all because they speaking the truth. The truth is, you can only grow but so much trying to share your energy with someone who is not of your culture and genetics. And the Asian people knows this. The East Indian people know this. I'm trying to understand why black folks don't know this. I'm trying to understand, okay? When I went all natural with my 4C here and everything, I realized my friendship circle was going to have to change. Okay? When I started eating at black-owned restaurants a lot of black-owned restaurants, I knew that my friendship circle was going to have to change. I knew that most likely I would probably have more black friends. I'd be talking to more black folks, as I should have been. I am not quick to give white people a pass and not my own race, because I know for a fact that they're doing the same thing. So if this video triggers anyone, I'm not sorry. I have went to school with white people. I have yet to meet white women who invite me completely into their life. It's always just a micro invitation. We can go for lunch during work time. We can go for an afternoon hike. But what I cannot do is participate in their parties. I can't help them plan their parties. I can't be a godmama of their kids. The point that I'm saying is, black women, start to notice how micromanaged your relationship is with people who are non-black. When you start to notice that, then you will see you're really technically better off having black friends. You are. Because I don't get empowered by something that don't look like me. I just don't get empowered by them. I don't get empowered by my sister-in-law and all those people, half white people, white people. I don't get empowered by them. I just don't. So I'm just saying. So I had to have this video topic. We're living in a world where people need to understand that people People want their own genetics and their own looks catered to. They want people to recognize the power of their own culture, their own beauty. The point is it's very imbalanced when you're constantly hanging out with someone who's totally different than you. You don't see tigers hanging out with lions all the time. You don't see that. And even when they are grown up and raised together, you'll see that one of them is always trying to dominate the other one. Constantly dominating. Acting entitled. But when you see a pack of lioness, you don't see them doing that with each other. Because they are of the same culture, genetic, and lifestyle. And they are also of the same spiritual energy. So it's easy for them to share the energy. It's easy for a pack of lioness, a pride, to not feel like one of them has to be the ultimate one in the situation. They don't feel that way because they know when they look at each other, they're the same. This is the truth. When I hang out with other people who have 4C here, I know that if I feel uncomfortable about my 4C here, I'm not going to feel more uncomfortable because they have 4C like I have 4C. Or they in the 4 group. I know that we can talk about the struggles. We can exchange tips. Like lioness, a pride can help each other with strategy hunting because they are of the same elemental energy as well. So the point what I'm saying is you may feel like your assets are protected. My assets are protected when I have white friends. But your spirit's not. Your self-esteem. And you never sacrifice that for a car. Who sacrifices their self-esteem, their inner peace, their feeling of truly belonging for a car? I'm going to sacrifice that so that I can get validation for my car? No. No. Because I bet you any money, if you lost your car, if you lost your American dream, you'll probably lose your white friend. Your white friend would probably be like, get a job. Why you broke? Stop living off the system. If you ever decide to not work and have a year where you're not working, you're not paying your car note, you're burnt out, you're going through stuff.